Right, guys, that's maybe a little bit of enough of a build-up. You know what you've got yourself signed up for. Pretty epic weekend, the Kerry Way, in about 2 weeks' time. Tonight, we are going to answer your questions, those final questions, before Eileen switches everything off before the race, because she has a lot to do. So if you've got any lingering questions, now is the time this evening. We're also going to be speaking with quite a few other people, as you saw on the preview for this evening. And without further ado, firstly, what we're going to do is we're going to jump on with our new partner, which is this amazing Irish app that I've actually been using tonight to find my way back to this place where I'm established for a week or two. I was lost in the middle of the French provincial countryside, and I was using Hiiker app to actually get me back home. So we're welcoming aboard Eoin from Hiiker app. Eoin, how are you doing?
Not too bad, Shawnee. How are things?
Welcome, firstly, to the Facebook Live, and welcome to, I suppose, Kerry Way Ultra, and thank you for your partnership opportunity. Do you want to tell us a little bit about the app?
Yeah, so I suppose it's a navigation app at its most basic, at its most simple. So if you're looking for hiking trails, running trails all around the country, but all around the world, we've about 40,000 trails marked from around the world. They're all they're verified as well. We generally get them from trade organizations. We get them from national parks. We get them from forestry boards, stuff like that. Like Sport Ireland here is one of the main partners that we have. We also have the ability to record your routes, but also to plan routes as well. One of the key differentiators between ourselves and, say, like something like Strava or maybe even All Trails is that you can use local or national topographic maps. So here in Ireland, you might be familiar with, obviously, Ordnance Survey Ireland. Over in France, you've got IGN. Back here in Ireland as well, you have east-west maps will be kind of a real favorite amongst walkers and runners as well, particularly in the coverage areas. So especially when you're doing the Kerry Way Ultra, you know, on that route, there's a lot of coverage of east-west maps and maybe even Harvey maps down in that area, and even in OSI, just so you get that really good detail in the maps to help you to navigate, you know, as best as possible.
Very good. And do you want to tell us about the origin of the app and where the team are from? Because you guys are principally based in Ireland, are you?
Yeah, we're all the founding team. We're all Irish. You know, Paul Tierney, CEO, founded the company literally just going out hiking, carrying his laptop and learning how to code and building it on the fly. And then, you know, he's a good friend of mine, and a bunch of us just all kind of decided to pool in and start building this. It was originally built for long distance hiking. And I suppose that's a kind of a key thing. Like, we build this, it's in the name. You can see it on my name there. It's called Hiiker. It's built for hikers. But you know, I'm a runner myself and taking part in Kerry Way Ultra myself. So, you know, I do see the crossover in trail running and especially in ultra running, where there's a lot of functionality there that we have and we are building that is going to cross over. So yeah, the app was originally built about 2.5-3 years ago, and we've been building it steadily. You know, we've expanded into UK, into European markets. We're now branching into the US market now as well. We've about 850,000 users to date globally, so it's going pretty well. But we've a long road ahead of us.
Very good. And do you want to tell us about, I suppose I've been using it principally, like I'm here lost in the middle of Provence, and I was out running with some local runners, and I need to get back for this live pretty damn quickly. And basically I took out Hiiker to find out exactly where I was and how I was going to get home, because I don't know the area, you know. And that's principally one of the major uses that I use it for when I'm out running, is to find my way back or to find my way around the place. Can you, I suppose, from a trail running aspect, what are the principal functionalities that we could use them as trail runners?
Yeah, so I guess the planning functionality and the map functionality. Basically, you're able to see where you are on any map, no matter if you're online or offline. So you can save maps offline. And one of the key differentiators as well for us is that we don't charge for offline maps. So if you, say, for instance, go out on a route, or you just want to save a section of a map offline, That's completely free. You pay for certain functionality like east-west maps, access and licenses for the premium maps. But you'll be able to see where you are no matter whether you have phone signal or not. You'll be able to see exactly where you are. And then using the planning functionality, you'll be able to draw a point from where you are back to exactly where you need to go. And that will use a database called OpenStreetMap, which will use a database of all the known routes to get back to that point. So that's probably the easiest way to kind of just go, right, I want to go from here to here. Show me what's the quickest route to get back there. What's the most effective way or efficient way to get back here? And it will draw that for you. Other than that, you can just literally just point, see exactly where you are, see what direction you're pointing, and just go that way. Making sure, obviously, that you're not going through private land, you're using proper paths and ways to get there.
Yeah, very good. We actually have people that are just downloading it as we speak and checking it out, and it's very good.
Nice.
One great functionality is your live position. You can share it with your friends and family. You can get a link and send it to them so they can actually track you.
Yeah, so that's, I suppose, a key one as well in terms of safety, because you don't have to have the app to receive that. So if I send that to you and I'm out on a trail, you don't have to have the app to have that. So, you might have family that have zero interest in hiking, zero interest in trail running, but they'll still be able to open that on their phone, on a browser, and it will show you exactly where you are at that point in time. So, and you can share it for a number of hours, for a number of minutes, however long you want to do that for. You're also able to share positions from the map as well. So if you, similar to how you would share a pin on Google Maps, you can also do that. It's waypoints. So you're able to create a waypoint and share that with your friend, share that with somebody to know exactly where you're going to meet or where you're going to be at a certain time.
Mm-hmm. Very good. And also there's one other significant one in that printing of maps.
Yes. So that would be, I suppose, a kind of a key one when it comes to the race. So you know yourself, like carrying around like a waterproofed OSI map that takes up probably 90% of your bag is a bit of a pain. Whereas with Hiiker, you can actually print off A4 sheets or sections of the trail. So we break up the trail into what we call like logical stages. And that's generally from a town to town or, one point to the next. And I don't know exactly how many stages there are for the Kerry Way, but essentially you're going to get a small pile of pages that you'll be able to roll up or fold up whatever way you want to, put it into a poly pocket or into a waterproof case and put that into your bag. So you'll be able to print off the entire route into a couple of sheets of A4 paper at home as well, which is the handy thing.
Very good. So big space, weight, and cost saving, I suppose, for Kerry Way Ultra runners.
Yeah, absolutely. Like I suppose the costs. You get a subscription, and that gets you access to all of the premium features. That gets you access to your premium maps, east-west maps, your OSI, your whatever map around the world. Doesn't matter. You don't have to pay extra for any other maps. You get your access to your print maps. You also get your access to your live locator. And there's a couple of other things as well that we do, like measurement tool, and there's a bunch of other things that we're building at the moment that all piles into that one subscription, so you don't pay any more. So normally, if you don't mind me jumping into to the price, normally it's €50 for the year, and that gets you access for an entire year for all of the premium features and maps. But for the Kerry Way crew, and entrance, we are doing a 20% discount with a special code. So the code is KWU23. And I don't know if you're going to put that up on screen or send it out in an email or anything like that. But if you're pen and paper, KWU23, that'll get you a 20% discount.
Yeah, we'll drop it into the comments, and we'll also put it in the description shortly. KW23, that's in the comments, and we'll also put in the description. Don't worry, we'll post it on the page also, because it is a very valuable app. As I say, I've been using it for the past few months, and it's one of my go-to apps now when I'm out on the trails to see where I am and where I can go from there. So yeah. Lovely. Thank you.
No problem. I was just going to say as well at the end there, we're very early, kind of early stage company at the moment. We still see ourselves as very much as a startup. You can see I'm working from my bedroom here, and we've launched a Discord. I don't know if you've ever used Discord, but it's an online forum to kind of help communities grow around our business and help us to shape the business. So we'd recommend everybody to jump onto either onto our Facebook group, which is on Facebook. Just search Hiiker, or onto Discord. I can put the link into the comments for that as well. But it's a place where you can all talk about hiking, trail running, ultra running, and then also on kind of feature requests on how we're going to build the app in the future.
Lovely. Discord, yeah, that's big in the gaming, I suppose. The gaming, I suppose everybody's using it for customer support these days. So very good.
Yeah. The kids are.
Thank you very much.
No problem, Shawnee.
You're not racing this year? You're a trail runner yourself. You're a trail runner yourself. Have you any big ones this year?
I'm not letting you guys have all the fun. I'm doing Kerry Way.
Good. Which distance?
The full.
Yes, lovely. We'll see you there. Let's hope you don't need Hiiker for it.
Well, I'll be fired
if you don't use it. Yeah, right. Very good.
Good
Anyhow, we'll see you in September. Thank you very much.
In a couple of weeks. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Right, lovely. That's great to have an Irish brand and an Irish technology company aboard. At the moment now, what we have is we have somebody coming direct from Colorado who's preparing for one of the epic world races over there, Leadville. But before that, we have somebody that just came off an amazing performance last weekend, Mr. Stephen.
How you doing? Sorry,
How are
I'm
you
just
doing?
sitting up here. I'm good. I'm trying to get the admin done here, get the dinner on and the food prepped for another week of training. Back at it.
Back at it already after last weekend. Oh my God.
Yeah, I got back in the pool this morning, back out for a very, very easy run this evening now. But the finish line is the start line for something else. It's always the way.
It is, isn't it?
Yeah,
it is, isn't it? So the last time I met you, hang on, let me pull something up there. We have this up here. Right, so last weekend, Mr. Stephen Murphy came up to Connemara 100. Last time I met you, we were out for dinner in Tullamore a few weeks ago, and you would put in the work. I could feel you put in the work, and you were quietly confident. You would put the work in, yeah?
Yeah, I was. I really have, yeah.
And you performed. Do you want to tell us how it went?
Yeah, I suppose. Look, I did the Mondello 24-hour cycle recently, 24-hour race around the track. I did 685 kilometers, and I came fourth, and I came away from it with a bit of emptiness because I saw that the capabilities were there to win it, but I didn't have the mindset going into it. I didn't have a winner's mindset going into it. I hadn't prepared to win. I'd prepared to compete and take part. So this was a project for me going to this race. I'd never done the Connemara 100 before. I'd never ran 100 miles on the road. I've done Kerry Way. I've done Ironman, different challenges, but I went into this with a mindset that I was coming away with the win from the very start. So even from the get-go, from the start line, I took out in front, and I led the whole way, finished in 13 hours, 32 minutes. I set a new course record and obviously took the win. But there was a team of us in it. So my friends, Dan, Ryan and Sean were all involved as well, all played crucial parts. And it's something that everybody, if they're running for the first time, they need to know. If they're running it for the 10th time, they already know how crucial and pivotal having the right crew there is. It's just phenomenal in every sense. Like it's I feel like they had a harder job than I did. All I had to do was run. They had to look after everything else. But it was on point the whole way. So
Big time. And it wasn't only a course record, it was an Irish record over that distance.
Look, it's not an IAU
Your
event.
first time.
Yeah, it's been contested. I did make the big claim that it's a national record because it's not a labeled event. It's been disputed that it won't go down in the books as being the national record. But I know myself, nobody in Ireland has run 100 miles faster than me, and I'm glad to claim that prize, and I'll get it on their terms another day.
Big time. And also in Connemara and in those conditions, which weren't the easiest. I mean,
No.
Massive kudos to you, whether it's kind of by the book or not. We all know you did it, and we know you can do it, and we'll come back and do it again. So tell me, when did this change in mindset actually happen? Because, that's something that's, anybody wants to go out there and beat a record, they has to click. Was it after this recycle race, or was it before that you said, hang on, I need to give myself a chance?
No, I'd be a big believer in myself. I'm late into all this game. I only started running maybe 6 years ago, coming from a bad place, and it's lifted me up. Like from bad place where I was in my 20s, I was lost. I didn't know what to do, but now my philosophy is either you use the energy or the energy uses you. So hence why I do so much. It says a lot about my mentality. But I suppose with the cycle around, or with the Mondello cycle, I came away from it and I got a lot of praise for it. And initially I was really happy with myself, but I have a friend and he's a word strongman. And I went into him in the gym and I thought I was going to get a bit of a massage on my ego. And he just looked at me disappointed and said, "You fucked it up." And I said to him, "What?" He's like, "You fucked it up. You could have won that and you didn't because you didn't prepare to win. You didn't have your crew in place. You piggybacked off another crew. You didn't have your nutrition sorted. You said you'll get off the bike when you need to, when you please." And I came away with that, like literally lying in bed that night, eyes wide open, going, "Fuck, he's right. I didn't." So like for this event, I literally have a book of notes written on how the whole day was going to go down, instructions for my crew, plan Bs, plan Cs, plan Ds, nutrition at what point, hydration at what point, course profiles, directions, all my kit bags lined out, everything from like say a separate bag for your night gear should you need night gear, separate bags for if you need foot care, that they just get the foot care box, have that ready. And then communication along the way, because I had one of the guys was with me on the bike at all stages. So he was carrying my nutrition, my hydration, and he was in constant contact with the camper. So the camper was going up ahead maybe 10, 15 kilometers at a time. Like similar, I probably would have ended up being, say, maybe 15, 20 kilometers. It would have been similar to the stints in Kerry Way, but obviously not the as harsh of a terrain. But like that, I didn't have to carry anything at any stage that I didn't need to. Like I played a game of minor adjustments where I could run faster by not having a hydration vest on me, by not having things that I didn't need on me, by knowing that my crew will have it when I need it, if I need it. So I suppose the background work was all done. As Simon Connaughton would say, the admin work was done. And that is the crucial bit. And I've learned a lot from all these guys. Like I remember being down in Kerry the year I did it, and I finished in 27 hours the first time I did it. But I remember seeing Ricky win at the finish line when I crossed in, and he was there like he was ready to go out on the town. He was in a pair of jeans, shoes, t-shirt, leather jacket, just strolling around, not a bother on him. And I came in like I was after coming back from war. And I remember looking at him, and that's the thing, just to pick out your role models and your idols, and kind of benchmark what you're doing against what they're doing and customize it for yourself. Because I always remember seeing him, and it's like to Simon as well, seeing him and saying, "How do they do it?" Or Keith Lane, like I even had donuts on my run up in Connemara because I saw Keith Lane did it during the Kerry Way last year. And like this, it's all little bits that you pick up along the way that you build into it, and you build your own custom profile for it. But I suppose to boil it down, it was the weather's outside of your control, the traffic's outside of your control, the competition is outside of your control. Like, I know I said I was going to win it, and in my head I knew I was going to win it, but there was other people going that would have felt that way as well, and you just have to want it more than them. But control the controllables, have everything in your power done before you get there, everything you can do when you're there and while you're there, before the race and even during the race. And then after that, you just do what you've trained to do. That's it. Like, to put in an honest effort. And like, the one thing I felt the whole way through this race was, I don't want to wake up Sunday morning or Monday morning saying I could have done better, or I could have given it more. You want to leave it all out there. You don't want to bring anything with you. Like, you train for months, you make huge sacrifices financially, with relationships, with career, like everything takes a blow for this. So like, you deserve to be on that stage, and you do owe it to yourself to put in the best performance you can. And I found it very helpful as well to dedicate certain portions of it to certain people in your life. Like, we lost a good friend of ours, Danny, on Friday. He died in a diving accident, but he was another guy, loves life, lived for it, every adventure going he's been on. He rode the Atlantic, he's kayaker, he just lust for life. And he died doing what he loves. But like, kilometers 40 to 80 were for Danny. And if I felt weak at any stage, I thought of Danny, and that was it. Like, I was like, do it for Danny. Like, 80 to 120 was for my family, for all the support I get from them, from all the blessings I've got through their love and support and understanding of what I do. And like that, like, there's a reason why we're doing this, and it's not self-serving. Like, you're doing it to make the people around you proud. You're doing it to make yourself proud. So like, you just have to tap into that and just find the inner strength to push on, because none of these things are easy. Like, we know that. Like, I, like, if I was running for 13 and a half hours last Saturday, 10 of those hours were spent thinking, why the fuck do I sign up for these things, or why do I put myself through this? And just put in the effort now, one and done. You don't come back, you don't do it again. But like, even watching back on videos from the finish line, like, that look in your eye, I'd say, I don't have kids, but I'd say it's what it's like to hold your child for the first time. Just that energy, just that life that you can see in your eyes when you're after doing what you set out to do. Like, it doesn't compare. And it's the feeling that counteracts all that ill feeling the whole way through. Crossing that line and having that feeling, lads, you'll have it in a few weeks. Just wait for it, and visualize it. That's the thing too, to visualize crossing that finish line the whole way, because you are going to do it. Every one of you are going to do it. Like, you're going to go out, you're going to run your best race. That's all you can do. Control the controllables, have your admin done, have your preparation done, have your crew well versed, be demanding on your crew, be a diva, but show them that you mean business, and they'll row in behind you. That's the main thing.
Very good. Some massive pointers there for everybody taking on the race in September. So you said there, Stephen, that you didn't give yourself too much time to rest. You're back in the pool, you're back training. Are you just maintaining, or what's the story next? I don't like asking this question, what's next? You're just after an epic few months of training and a big performance. What is next though?
Next, I have a half marathon in 2 weeks as part of an Offaly endurance series. So it was a 4 mile, 10K, 10 mile, and this is the half marathon. So I'm coming second in the endurance series. Third place is 40 seconds behind me. It's all your times added together. So I know this guy knows I ran 160 kilometers, and I know he's looking to finish ahead of me. But he's not going to. I'm going to defend that title, and I'm going to keep my place in the rankings. So that's the short-term goal. long-term goals, I have Dublin Marathon. I'm going to put in a good training block for Dublin Marathon now. I done it in 2:54 last year, 2 weeks after Ironman. So this year I'm doing under 2:45. And then after that, look, we'll make big plans for next year, but I've ticked my boxes for this year so far now, and look, always opened opportunities. We'll be over to France to try out this new sauna you're putting in soon.
All right. Well, that's what in September, so we'll get back to you on that.
Brilliant.
Lovely. Anyhow, Stephen, thank you very much for coming on, for telling us at a raw level what you did and how you made it happen. And I suppose the pointers you've given everybody and how you made it happen, because it's inspiring. You put the bloody work in, just like anybody.
100%.
I mean, you mentioned Ricky and Keith, everybody. You just went out there and changed like a 27-hour Kerry Way performance into a national performance there last weekend. Well done. Show us that again.
This is going to be filled with Guinness tomorrow night. But look, it's like I've seen enough people getting enough of these, and I said, this time it's mine. Nobody's getting it. That's mine. That was mine from the time I got there. Nobody was taking that away from me. And look, if anybody wants any tips, any pointers, I've all my gear there for Kerry Way. If anybody wants a hand in any way, you have to ask, and I'm offering. I also have a friend, David Keane. He just recently walked the whole Kerry Way. He's a super fella. He's heading down to Kerry. He said he's more than willing to crew somebody. That's a golden ticket. If somebody doesn't have crew, or they're thinking of doing drop bags, it's a golden ticket. So if you want an unbelievable human to crew you, let me know and I'll arrange that. So if anybody's down there, don't have your regrets about not having crew now. There's an offer there for somebody who comes first to have somebody crew them. And like that, lean on people, ask people, because it does take a parish to get these things done. You can't do it alone. Nobody can do it alone. So get advice off whoever you can. Speak to people who've done it before. Study the route, have your admin done, have your gear done, and after that, the uncontrollables are out of your hands. But you'll be well versed firm, and you're all heroes just for signing up, because it is a mad event. It is fucking mental. But I'll be back. I'll be back next year, and I'll be coming for it.
Good. Coming for something big. But we have somebody here that's watching who is looking for a Fort Relay partner. So, Stephen, if you've recovered after your half marathon, think about that. But you're possibly 60K too much.
I'd be down in Kerry. I'd be doing it this year. It would be my A race this year, but one of my best friends is getting married, and unfortunately, I thought the relationship might break down during the year, but it's going stronger than ever. So I'm going to have to stick to it. But I will be down in Kerry, and I will be going between the wedding and the finish line to see a few years through. So I'm looking forward to it. We'll be back watching at the table.
Cool. Anyhow, Stephen, thank you very much for that raw account of how you put in a international performance there in Connemara. It was great meeting up a few weeks ago, having dinner in Tullamore, and we'll see you in Kerry 100%. Or France or somewhere very, very soon. Thank you very much.
Definitely. Thanks so much. Best of luck, everyone.
Thank you. Take care. Wow, what a performance. What a man. He just 27 hours in Kerry Way Ultra and came and exploded. The preparation and the mindset. That's what it was all about. We're just checking in. Dave in Colorado will be with us shortly. Do we have Paul? Let me check. Paul is having issues. Paul, who is in the middle of 23 Peaks Challenge. Instead, we're going to have Eileen. That's one of the, we'll have the Q&As. We'll have the Q&As straight away. Eileen, how are you doing?
I'm fine. I'm just a little bit in awe of Stephen. Wow. Yeah. We all, yes, he's amazing.
He is amazing.
Right. Okay. So I'm going to be the most boring of all of your guests tonight, because I'm more just going to go through a few things that are vitally important. And I have a note here. You haven't got the photographs, Sean, have you, of canoeing?
I do indeed. Of course I do. Otherwise, I may get fired. So, of course, I do have to. Right. So, photographs. Okay, here we go. If you want to talk us through, and then, right.
Well, the first one, I believe, will be the when you come down off. It's more for the ultra entrance. When you come down off Canoeig, yes, exactly. This is between Gartmore, Foilmore, and Waterville. You come down from Canoeig and you come to this signpost. Now, either way is correct. The Kerry Way goes both ways, but I would recommend going right. It's 12.5 kilometres, according to left, which is over 17 kilometres. Either way will be fine, but it's just that if you turn right, it's shorter. This is also where Donal and Peggy from previous entrants will remember. It's where Donal and Peggy set up a table with all the goodies. So this is right there. So it'll be a memorable part of the Kerry Way for new entrants. And then there's the other photograph, which is the turn off in for the finish. This is for all of the entrants, light, night, etc. It's the sign that there is no Kerry Way sign on it. So this is when you go over the Flesk Bridge on the Muckers Road in Killarney. This is what you're looking for, and you have to turn left in here. You can continue on down on the Muckers Road and go in the main entrance of the racecourse. It just is a little bit longer also. So at least now nobody can say that we didn't give them all those warnings. A few other things. A plea as usual for volunteers and dot watchers. I particularly am looking for volunteers for Templeogue and Kenmare overnight, because I just, as usual, I never have enough volunteers. We always get away with it last minute, but it would be great if anybody, and I'm not looking for them for the whole night, just shift work a few hours would be great. And if you just email me or ring me, whatever, I'd really appreciate it. Also, same dot watching, looking for dot watchers. They can do it from at home if they wish, and it's only again for a few hours. I'm not looking for people to dot watch the whole event. And I would ask all entrants to all the events to please have somebody watch you, because we've over 500 entries. We're not going to be able to watch everybody, even if we had 20 dot watchers. So it really is up to everybody to have somebody looking after them. It's very easy to take a wrong turn, and if somebody rings you and just say stop, it might save you kilometers of just going out of the way. The dog is coming in to give his advice now as well too. There was an email sent to everybody on August 8th last week. I think most people got it, but if anybody didn't get this email, please look for it in spam. If not, ring me or email me and I will send it to you, because there's a lot of very, very important information in that. And those that did get the email, I'd ask you, please read it. There's no point in knowing you got an email from me if you don't read it. If you could, it would make my life a lot easier. It'll make your life a lot easier as well. So there's a section on that email, and I will be sending another email about it. There is a new mandatory gear item been introduced for all of the events. It'll be a different coloured ribbon. And I know it sounds very frivolous maybe, but it's as a courtesy to all entrants that just say the ultra is green, and if somebody in a red ribbon passes by an ultra runner, at least they will know that it's not another ultra competitor passing them by, that it's somebody from maybe the night or the light who's probably a lot sprightlier. So it's a courtesy to all entrants. And also you have to provide the ribbon. I'm not going to be there with a box of ribbons for people. It's in the email that was sent on August 8th, and I will have it in another email, hopefully, that will be sent tomorrow as well too. So it's just, I'm asking you, it sounds frivolous, and if people turn up with no ribbon, I'll give them a Barbie pink ribbon or something, but please just bring your own ribbon. Yes, a small thing, but just the climbers in Dencar and the towers in Glenbeigh. These are for the ultra competitors. They let us use their car parks and their facilities without ever complaining. There's never a problem. So it would be really nice if anybody is willing to go in, have tea, coffee, lunch, whatever, but just give something back, because this is what the whole Kerry Way is about. It's about the communities along the way, etc. So it's nice to give something back. So if your crew are hanging around, maybe just mention beforehand that if they're hanging around, just go in and spend a bit of money locally. Let's see. Yes, the crew stop in Kenmare. The Lost Sheep is on on Saturday of the Kerry Way Ultra, which means that there'll be the Kerry Way Ultra, the Ultra Night, the Ultra Light, the Ultra Relay, and the Lost Sheep, all in Kenmare around the same time. It's going to be a very busy town. We are still using the schools which are on Railway Road, which is at the start of the old Kenmare Road. There's 2 schools on the left. If we're not in the first school, we'll be in the second one. It's basically, it's going to be hopefully that simple. And hopefully your crews or any crews will know where the crew stop is. And if they will be looking out for people struggling and say, oh, come on, we're here, we're in this school. So there isn't any problem for anybody to be worried about parking or anything in Kenmare. It'll all work out, but just be conscious that the Lost Sheep is on at much the same time. Yes, the competitors page has been finally updated. No, I don't mean that finally. I mean, it'll be updated for the last time yesterday. So anyone that has had any of the changing between fast, slow, night, light, whatever, I will hope that you are now on the correct section on the competitors page. If you'll check it, it will be great. But also, you'll also get the particular email to your event. So that'll be a way of double checking that you are in which event you want to do now. Don't forget the Ultra Kids is at 3 in the race course on Saturday, and we have almost 24 children who are willing to partake or want to follow in their parents' footsteps. So that should be fun. If anybody's around, it should be good fun. It'd be great to give the kids encouragement. Very practical. There are showers available in the race course now. You bring your own towels, but there are 2 showers available for our use during the day of Saturday, which is very good of them to give us access to this. And the last thing that I can think of anyway, check yourself for ticks afterwards. They're still there. They're still around. They're I'm not going to say they're everywhere, but they basically are. They're in a lot of places, so please check yourself for ticks. And that's me done. That's the boring bit done. Go back to your exciting guests.
Very good. So does anybody have any questions? Because we did say this was the last Kerry Way Ultra. Q&A, anything whatsoever. We've lots of very experienced people, from people that have done it 10 times in a row to people that have done it quite a few times. So if you do have any questions, there's no silly question ever once you've read the email. Okay. So we do have a question from Silly Question Self-Crewed. How hard, easy to find bag drop areas in the different stops, say in Waterville? I've not read, sorry if this is obvious. Eileen, do you want to take this?
Denise, I suppose I'm not giving a smart answer here, but read the website.
So the bags are easy once you get to the checkpoint. There will be volunteers.
Yeah. There will be, well, if I can get enough volunteers, I'm hoping there will be volunteers, and they will be looking out for you, and the bags will be sort of left in numerical order. So Denise, you're probably going to be up in the high numbers. So make sure your bag is waterproof, very well marked, so that you can recognize your own bag with your name on it, and also with whichever crew stop on it, so that you yourself will be putting your drop bag into the well-marked box in the race course at registration on Thursday evening. But it's up to you to put the right bag into the right box. But I say the actual it's all of the communities are small, so Glen Bay is in the supermarket. It's you're not going to be wandering around a city or a town. Kenmare is in the school, as I've just, it's on the railway road for you. So it should be easy enough to find. I think we're all sorted, Sean, are we? Yeah.
Cool. Yeah. Right, very good. So
Pat.
I think that answers Denise's questions.
Yeah, Pat, that is the where you can
sounds
come
obvious.
down.
Yeah, there's lots of runners, Denise, and they're small towns, so it's difficult to miss the checkpoints. Yeah, very good. Right, we've one question from Pat. Could you explain where that first photo was again? Let me pull
That's
it up.
when after Gertmore, Foilmore, and before Waterville. So it's in that wild part of the Kerry Way route. You're coming down off Canoeig. If you look through your maps, you'll see it. Coming down off Canoeig, coming onto a road, and there's a new section.
Eileen, do you want to explain that there?
Yeah, there's a new.
Yeah.
I am explaining. Can you hear me, Sean? Can you hear me, Sean? I'm here, Sean. I can't hear you. Can you hear me? Or I am explaining?
Yes.
Can you hear me? Yes, okay. Can you hear me now?
Yes, Eileen. So just a slight lag, but work away.
It's between Gertmore, Foilmore, and Waterville on the Kerry Way. It's coming down off an area called Canoeig, and it's when you're coming off the mountain onto a tarred road. The signpost is in front of you, but if you look at it, it means the Kerry Way. You have a choice of going right or left. You can use either. Both are the Kerry Way. If you turn right, it's about 5 kilometers shorter. So that's just why I flagged it, to save you. You can go the long way if you want, but just to save people. Hope that makes sense.
Very good. Can people hear me now? Can you just drop in the comments? I know people could not hear me, but we have some other questions coming through here. Let me know in the comments.
Can I answer?
Yes.
Yeah. Yes, there are individual boxes for each checkpoint. So you have to have individual bags. It says on the website that you have to have the bags numbered per crew stop, etc., etc.
Cool. And yeah, somebody says, don't forget your drop bag for Brandon's Cottage, everyone. Cara Daniel is only stopped at a slightly off route. Only very
Not
slightly.
really. No.
Not really.
It's about maybe 10 meters, 20 meters into the car park. Same with Waterville. The Waterville we're using, the community centre, that also is about 20 meters off the route. You do need to be conscious of that you're coming into where there has to be a crew stop. So you do need to be conscious and looking for your crew stop. Yes, Mike, a photocopy of the OSI maps will be fine.
Right. If here we another one. Is the course wetter than normal this year with all the rain? 2-time finisher.
We'll see what the next 2 weeks does. It's quite wet as it is, but there's 2 weeks that anything can happen.
Right. Just wait. Just going through. Ba-bam. Right. So I think that's all we have questions. Just with regard that photo that we showed earlier, just go back on the live video. We won't repeat it for a third time because we have actually discussed it twice. So if you just want to go back on this video and check it out. If anybody has any other questions, drop them in. Now we can pop on again. We just have somebody coming from Leadville that's going to talk us through one of the biggest races in the world and how he's going to rock it big time. So Eileen, if you just want to stick with us, just in case there are any few questions, just after Dave jumps off. So we'll chat to you in a few seconds. Right. So the time has come. Let me take off these questions. And we will chat with somebody who's come to us live from Dave. How's it going?
Hi, Shawnee. How are you keeping? Good to see you.
Yeah, you too. I'd actually planned to chat with your wife, not yourself. Could you put her on, would you?
She's standing in the eaves, all right. She's
Yeah, I want to talk to her about her half marathon.
Do you really?
Yeah, put her on. She's the real lady behind the scenes.
No, she's working.
She's working. That's all right.
She's unable to.
Right. I heard there was a complaint to YouTube that you were using up all their bandwidth with all the videos you were uploading onto your YouTube channel. Is that true?
I'll tell you, it's hard work when you're trying to do recce's of the level course at the same time, but I'm getting there.
Big time. So in case anybody doesn't know, this is Dave's YouTube channel, who is basically documenting everything that he's doing over in the States, and especially his lead up to Leadville 100, one of the iconic races in the world, never mind the USA. So Dave, do you want to talk us through exactly what's happening over there and at what stage you are in the process?
Yeah, we're very much into the final countdown now. The race takes place at 4 a.m. on this coming Saturday morning. So last couple of days, so I just wanted to get out. I've been up here in Frisco, Colorado, which is just about half an hour down the road from Leadville, acclimatizing and getting used to the course. And I just had a little bit to pick up. That's why I was running a little late today. I wanted to get out and see that final turnaround. It's an out and back course. So I just wanted to get out to that 50-mile point and just see what that looks like and do a little bit of wrecking out there. So it's a beast of a course, and it all takes place above 10,000 feet really, which is 3,000 meters. So altitude is a big factor.
Yeah. How do you prepare for that? How have you been preparing for that?
Yeah, well, one thing that I can certainly attest to, what they say is if you're going to race at altitude, either come in a day beforehand or at least a week beforehand. Don't come in 2 or 3 days beforehand, because when I got up here to altitude, I was fine. I ran very well the day after I arrived. And then it was the next 2, 3, 4 days that I really felt like crap. And then it was after that our body obviously kicked in and you get used to it over a period of a week or 2 weeks. So I'm ready to go.
Right. Very good. So what is the plan? Because it is 100 miles. It is very high up. Have you been looking at the start line? What's the competition like? And what's the expectancy basically? Because you've been basically a professional athlete since you've left Ireland.
Yeah, well, Leadville is also an interesting 100-miler in that you don't need to do any qualifier to get in. So what does happen in this race is that for the last 6, 7, 8 years, they've always had a DNF rate, a did not finish rate of at least 50%. So obviously I don't plan to be amongst those numbers. Yeah. They haven't published the participants list yet, so I don't know what the competition is like, but I'm definitely feeling fit, ready, and having seen, I would say, 90 to 95% of the course, I'm ready to go. Good.
So is there live tracking?
There will be live tracking, all right. Now, you're not wearing, it's not as advanced as the Kerry Way. I won't be carrying a GPS tracker on me, but it'll be every time you come into an aid station or cross one of the mats, there'll be a live update to let people know where you're at.
Right. Very good. And we will have, I suppose, you will have the GoPro. You will be documenting the whole race.
Absolutely, 100%. Looking forward to that too. Apparently it's, and having seen it now, Colorado is such an amazing part of America. So scenic, nestled here in the mountains, and Leadville in particular is, nestled right up amongst the 14,000 feet mountains here in Colorado. So GoPro has got to come with me on this one.
Big time. Well, we look forward to that. We'll obviously miss you at the Kerry Way this year. Yourself.
I'll miss you guys. It's such a family down there. So Sorry,
Big time.
sorry to miss it, but I wish all the competitors the very best of luck. I think it's a great thing to be part of.
Yeah, very good. Anyhow, fly that tricolour. We will be looking forward to your video update a few days after the race. And good luck.
All right, I appreciate that, Johnny, and take care. I'll be watching all those guys. I'll be watching with a lot of interest in a couple of weeks when the Kerry Way kicks off.
Big time. Thank you very much.
Good luck to everyone. All right, take care, boys.
Take care. Right, Dave, as you can see, a little bit of nervousness coming up. The Leadville 100, one of the iconic races that is tough to get into. I don't know how he managed it, but we also have, unfortunately, Paul Tierney, who's doing the 23 Peaks Challenge. We wanted to get him on live, but we're having a few technical issues. So what we do have is we have just a little video that he has, or hang on, do we have... Let me see. We have a little video that he just sent us, so we'll just play this just 2 seconds ago.
Hey everyone, Paul here. Just sending you a quick video here from O'Connor's and Clahan. I've been trying to get on there, but I don't know, my link doesn't seem to be working. Just a quick report, I suppose, of where I am. I have the 20 of the 23 peaks done. I'm
going to switch that off because we actually have Paul live and in person. Yes. Paul, how are you doing?
Guys, Johnny, how's things?
All right, I was just playing that little video. So we got you on live, which is much better. That way we can question you about your epic endeavors and how things are going. Firstly, do you want to give us a little bit of background on what you're doing? Because I assume that everybody knows. We posted the donation link and exactly what you're doing in the description. But do you want to give us a little bit of background?
Yeah, so I suppose the short version of a long story is I'm traveling around and running up and down the 23 highest peaks in Ireland. So it's in aid of the Ashling Murphy Memorial Fund. So that's when you list off the 23 highest peaks, it takes you through Wicklow, down into Carlow, into Waterford's tip, down into Kerry. There's quite a few down there, and then up to Mayo to finish off. So I'm traveling between the peaks on my bike. And I'm sleeping in a tent that I carry on the bike with me as well, and I have all my clothes and stuff. So I'd say it's an unsupported challenge. I don't have a crew. I'm looking after everything myself. So yeah, that's the idea, is that I pick them off solo.
Yeah, and I suppose that's one of the challenges or struggles with this challenge is we have lots of people doing the highest peaks, which is an amazing feat in itself, but you have to cycle between them. You know, you're a trail runner. Everybody knows you. I'll pull up your Instagram and Facebook there in a second. But you have to, after going up those peaks, you have to jump on the bicycle and cycle tens, if not hundreds of kilometers in the rain, set up a tent, look after your nutrition. How is that going?
To be honest, I underestimated it a little bit. The peaks are feeling pretty easy by comparison to the cycling and the logistics and being self-supported. To some extent, it's kind of the whole idea of being self-supported and having to deal with the logistics of a tent and getting wet kit, all that kind of stuff, is competing against the cycling and the running. So overall, it's meaning I'm actually having to go a lot harder than I expected in order to keep everything on schedule. I was planning on doing that at a steady pace so that I'd sustain 11 days. But what I'm actually doing at the moment, I'm basically racing so that I can actually get done each day. And so far, my body is holding up. I didn't intend to put the strain on it, but so far it's holding up. But I have 2 long days on the bike now coming up. So the last 3 days of this challenge are going to be tough. But I have 20 peaks done. So look, fingers crossed, hopefully I won't crash and burn, literally.
Yeah. So what do the final 3 days entail, basically? What sort of cycles and what are the climbs that are left?
I've got, tomorrow is all bike. So tomorrow I'm cycling from Dingle up to Kinvara in Galway. So I have 180k to cover on the bike tomorrow. Yeah, look, I'll start early and I'll pick it off bit by bit. My whole aim for tomorrow is to try and get through that with as little strain as I can, so that I can set myself up for the following day, which is going to be the worst day of the whole thing. On the Thursday, I have 150 kilometres of a cycle from Kinvara up to Dulac in Mayo. And then I have to run up Ben Lugmore and Wheelray. And then when I get back down, I have to hop back on the bike and I have 40 kilometres into Westport. So that's going to be by far my biggest day. The final day is essentially the last day. That's when I have to cycle from Westport then up to Neffin, and I have a run up and down Neffin, and then I have 140 kilometres from Neffin back to Blue Ball to the finish line. But at that stage, the finish line is in sight, so I'll be trying to freewheel back as best I can. Well, actually, sorry, I'm not going to the Blue Ball on the Friday. I'm actually camping at Lone, and then on the Saturday I'm just rolling over the line in Blue Ball, and there's a bit of an event organised there. So, so there's a couple of big days coming up on the bike.
Crazy performance. As you can see there, your donations page, 12,000 euros, which is well earned. I mean, even we could double or triple that, it'd still be well earned, self-supported, in the rain, on the bike. Absolutely crazy. Can you tell me, because I've been following it pretty closely, you do have lots of people coming to join you. I saw lots of the Munster runners coming up, Karen Toole and stuff. Can you talk to us a little bit about, I suppose, the support you've gotten from the, I suppose, running community? Yeah, no, to be honest, it's been unbelievable. Like since I got to Galties, I've had people run with me in every peak, and it just takes your mind off. Sometimes the rain, the weather will change quite dramatically, and it can really bog you down. But when you're running with people, they'll just pull you along and lift your spirits. So that's been like essential to me. By comparison, then when I get on the bike, I tend to be on my own, and that's what I found really hard. So it just goes to show how much the support of the people down in Kerry and in Tip and Limerick, and my own friends have been travelling down and running with me as well. So it's been so big, such a huge part of it. Superb. Anyhow, we won't keep you too much longer because I know you're after X amount of days and you have 3 big days ahead of you. All I can say is massive kudos. We may see you down in Kerry in September. You were pondering upon maybe jumping into an event, but you will possibly be wrecked after your 23 Peaks Challenge. So we will see you very shortly. Yeah, hopefully. I'll see where the body is. I was hoping to do the night, but I'll have to make a judgment when I finish this and see if I have it in me. Of course. Anyhow, massive kudos to you. Everybody here is saying absolutely beast of a performance. It really is. It's just mind-boggling what one can do once they put their mind to it. And you obviously put your mind to it because you put a lot of preparation into it too. Did you recce lots of the climbs, the route? Did you do lots of homework before the performance? Yeah, I recce'd all 23. So I was up all 23 peaks. I needed to get GPX because not all of the routes I've taken up the peaks are standard routes, because it all has to match in with where I'm going on the bike. Because if I could be traveling on, we'll say, the south side of a mountain, whereas most people run up the north side, for instance, I'd then have to try and plot a route up the south side so that it's in line with my bike. So I've had to plot a lot of routes myself and make sure I had GPS files for them, because as you've seen, the weather over the last couple of months has been pretty dire, and this whole challenge is a completely different animal when the weather is good versus when the weather is bad, because one of the biggest challenges I have is keeping my kit dry and keeping my tent dry. It's not fun to sleep in a wet sleeping bag or in a wet tent. So that's probably the hardest part, as opposed to cycling uphill or cycling and running up hills. Big time. Anyhow, we can see the amount is increasing by the minute there. So the link is in the description if anybody wants to give a few quid for for an amazing challenge and an amazing cause, obviously supporting the Ashling Murphy Memorial Fund. Anyhow, Paul, good luck in the next few days and massive kudos to you, and we will see you very shortly. Take care. Thanks, Johnny. Really appreciate it. Take care. Bye-bye. Bye-bye. Right, guys, that's it. I think we're just about done. We'll just have Eileen on for a few closing words before Kerry Way Ultra email basically gets switched off, because you'll be very busy for the next 2 weeks. Eileen, do you have any closing words? Read the website. Read the website. All right, yes. Very good. Let me just go through. I don't think we've any other questions, no, since we... But anyhow, if anybody does have any questions after reading the website, drop them in the comments here. And in the group, the Facebook group, we have lots of the community that are here to take the pressure off Eileen that already know the answers, that may be on the website, that are more than likely on the website. And kudos, Eileen, for putting together a massive website this year. Yourself and Cahill, the website is absolutely amazing. The information on it, it took months to put together. It must have taken months.
It's cool. It will require very little changing from year to year other than dates and additions. So that's going to make a huge difference if we're still in business next year.
Very good.
We will be.
No doubt we will. Anyhow, thank you very much, everybody, for it's amazing. Yeah, John O'Mahony, it is, to be fair, it is exactly what the race deserves. Anyhow, guys, just another few days before the Kerry Way Ultra, what you've been training for the past few months, we're going to have lots of crack. And one thing, guys, Eileen put all the details in the email. The bar is open. We're chatting in the Facebook group about the buzz, about finishing times, leaders, non-leaders, whatever. There was a great buzz in the race course last year because primarily of Ray Cummins, who's on tonight, Dave and his wife, and lots of the Dublin crowd with music, with lots of crack for the final finishers. The bar is open until 12 o'clock. You are welcome to come down and to shout on for the last 2 hours, to have the crack. We will have the music, we will have the drink, we will have everything down in the race course. We have a start-finish area, which is as good as anything in the world. We just need the people down there to make the atmosphere. So it's up to you guys to come down for the final hours or for all day long, whatever you want. Go back, get a shower, and come back for the crack in the evening. Eileen, do you want to finish us off with a few words?
No, that's it. I mean, the race course it's an amazing facility for us to have. I think last year we behaved ourselves there, and I presume we will do the same again this year. Again, it's the same with all the landowners, all the communities. There's never a complaint, and that's such it's such a reflection on the event and the people partaking in it, as well as the volunteers and the marshals. That you've probably over 300 landowners, and then you have Quilcha, you have National Park, you have towns, communities, whatever, and every year we're welcomed with open arms. I think that is just, I don't think I can say any more than that, really.
Very good, very good. Anyhow, we are looking forward to welcoming the biggest amount of runners we've ever had at the Kerry Way Ultra this year, and it's going to be massive crack. Welcoming you to Kerry, to the kingdom, to have the crack and to watch all of you guys finish and rock the Kerry Way Ultra. Thank you very much, and see you in September.
Bye.